just out with the team, just having a bit of food and that.
Oh, wicked. The egg throwing, how was that coming along? Are you improving on that? Or?
Appalling. I nearly hit Charlie Duffield in the head. Lucky I never hit. He killed me.
I saw an interview, James. I saw an interview that you said you're not a massive fan of training, but you love sparring. Is this true?
Well, I always said that I wasn't a massive fan of training, but this was before I joined, obviously, Mark Tibbs, and now I'm doing different types of training and things. I'm starting to enjoy training as much as I do sparring. Obviously, I'll always love sparring. That's what my job is. I get in there and punch people in the face, and obviously there's no excitement if I'm not doing what I love. Do you know what I mean? But the training side of things, I'm starting to enjoy more now, and I feel myself coming on a lot.
Oh, wicked, mate. We spoke to Mark a few weeks back. How was Mark, mate? Is he in good spirits? You know, since linking back up, obviously, with Billy Joe, and now he's out there with you. Is he all good?
Yeah, Mark's all good. I'm with Mark now as it goes. I know that, man.
Mark, how you doing, fella?
Listen, I just heard what he was saying. He's got to understand the art of preparation. You know, when you sit down, you have a nice paella like we're going to do now. The chef that cooks it, he puts the time and effort into it, and it tastes good.
Yeah.
If he just slings it all together, we're going to send it back to him. We won't want to eat it.
Get him on those hill sprints in the morning, Mark. Get him on those hill sprints.
Yeah, no, he's doing well. How you been? It's been a little while. You been all right?
Yeah, yeah, all good.
I'm enjoying all your. I'm enjoying all your work. I love your videos. Really do.
Good.
Good man. Cheers, take care. He's doing well out here. He's doing well. We've done a few rounds with Billy Joe Saunders, and he's broke Billy Joe in a bit of sparring, and he's doing really, really well.
Wicked, mate.
He's learning. It ain't been easy. Trust me.
Obviously, out in Spain, as I can see, in camp, obviously with Billy Joe, you know, Johnny Fisher, Lewie Edmondson. It seems like you're having a blast, mate. What happened to Johnny's flip-flop the other night?
Right, so we went into the shop about probably 10:30 at night. Just wanted to go get some drinks and that. And as we're walking out of the shop, I've trod on the back of John's flip-flop, and it's broken off, and John's walking home with one flip-flop. He's been trying to find lucky men on the beach to try and find flip-flops. He's just got to bought himself some new ones.
Very nice.
None of them fit him no more out here.
How is Billy, mate? Is he? And obviously he's fighting in November. Is he? And he looks in great shape. Is he doing well as well?
Yeah, honestly, the thing obviously with Billy Joe is he's in unbelievable shape. I've not seen him in this shape this far out from a fight ever. As you know from yourself, he obviously sometimes out of shape and things, but this time around, the condition he's in, if you see a picture the boys posted the other day after their run, you can see he's in serious shape. His nutrition is going unbelievable. He's obviously got Greg on board, which is helping him a lot. Obviously camp manager Tom, who's sorting out everything out for him, and obviously Mark Tibbs doing all of his training, his preparation. So come December the 4th, you'll see the best Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh, wicked, mate. It must be great. It must be great for you being around him. Do you sort of try and copy or mimic any of his movements and his training style? Is that sort of one of the things you've been doing?
You know what? Ever since I was young, Billy Joe's always been my favourite fighter, and for me to be out here with him, it's like I'm living a dream. A year, 2 years ago, when I first turned pro, I never ever thought I'd be training with a two-weight world champion, and things I learned from him is unbelievable. As everybody knows, I'm a boxer. I don't like to stand and fight. I'm slick, and to be around Billy Joe, who's the best at that, is only going to bring me on. I watch him whilst he's sparring, whilst he's training, shadow boxing, and pick up little things, and I try and add it to my own game.
Oh, wicked, mate. You're also obviously surrounded by great prospects like, you know, Lewie and Johnny. Does this drive you to train harder, seeing them smashing in the gym as well?
The thing with me is I'm very competitive, and I want to be the hardest worker. So to have all these up-and-coming talents coming through and already made fighters, I want to be the best in the gym, and to do that, I've got to work hard. So to have a great team around me, we all push each other to bring each other on leaps and bounds. And honestly, we've gone into lockdown now. I know obviously the gyms back home ain't open and things, but we're lucky enough to be out here still training every day, ticking over, being in great shape for when fights come out, and we'll be ready to go. Obviously, Johnny's out in December. Harvey's out in December also. So everyone's got fight dates. Just me and Big Charlie Duffield waiting for a date, and we'll all be out there.
Yeah, wicked. I spoke to Lewie on Instagram a few days ago, and he said if we speak to you, we've got to ask you what you've been up to on those sun lounges in Fuerteventura at night.
So we had a bit of fun on the sun lounges. You know what? We're here on a training camp, but we got to have a bit of fun as well. That's what keeps the excitement in the camp. Had a bit of fun on a sun lounger, and
should we leave it at that? Should we just leave it there?
All I'm saying is, if there's any more who come out to Fuerteventura, the sun lounge is going to be used a lot more.
Come on to your career, mate. Obviously, you're currently 6-0. You fought before lockdown, sort of one happened. How eager are you to get back out now, looking for that fight date? Any news at all?
So there's no news on a new fight date at the moment. I'm looking to be back out in February. I'm a completely different fighter to when I boxed back in March. When I boxed in March, I was only with Mark for 3 or 4 weeks. I had a very short camp, and for me to do what I've done, on the day I wasn't too happy with my performance, but now I look back at it with 4 weeks preparation and training, I'm proud of what I've done. I was put in there, everyone thinks I was going to get beat, I think, but I proved everyone wrong, and when I come back, I will be a different fighter.
Did it prove to you? Did it prove to you, James, that you've got the guts and you've got the heart to fight, even though things are not particularly feeling great for you? Camp maybe wasn't so great. Does that fill you with confidence, knowing you can do it even when you're not 100%?
You know what? I'm a fighting man, and I understand that fighters sometimes say, I had this going on, but that's life. Fighters have things going on all the time behind closed doors, and if a fighter comes out after he's been beaten and says, I had this go on, making excuses, I'm not one for making excuses. I think everyone has problems going on in their life, and you don't need to pull out fights or use that as an excuse. If you're in the game and you're a boxer, and then that's what your life is, there shouldn't be anything else going on in your life to be ruining things. I understand family crisis and things, but for me, obviously, I'm fully focused on boxing now. I have nothing going on, and like you were saying about the 4-week training camp, I believe in my ability, and my opponent I had in front of me on the night, I was positive that I was beating him before we training.
In a recent Instagram post, I saw you said that the title holders keep the belts warm. You're coming for them. Any specific titles on your mind there, James?
So, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and call people out, but obviously, like I said, I believe in my skills, and I haven't decided the route I want to go. I haven't decided if I want to go Southern area, English, British, or straight around the European route, but every single title in that weight, obviously, the British is vacant in a minute, and I'm not going to get ahead of myself and start calling on British titles and that, but Southern area title holder, I'd beat with my hands down. English title holder, I'd beat with my hands down. I'm not sure who's got the European, but I'm sure I'll beat them as well. So any of them title fights come along, I'll take them with open arms, because obviously, like I said, I'm a fighting man. And one thing about me as well, I know there's a lot of fighters out there, they hear title fight, they want to jump in. I wouldn't jump into a fight if I wasn't 100% sure I'd win. If I had 2% in my brain telling me that I'm going to be beat, or I've got that little bit of nerves thinking, oh, this couldn't go my way, I wouldn't take the fight. So the title holders at this second, I am 100% confident I'd beat every single one of them.
Wicked, mate. I think the British is being fought now between Mark Heffron and Denzel Bentley. Is that a potential fight you know, possibly like maybe in a year's time, fighting the winner?
It would definitely be a possible fight for the future. Obviously, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm only 6-0, 21 years age. Denzel Bentley's a very good friend of mine. We both boxed at Fisher back, with each other back in the day. And I learned a lot from Denzel. I used to spar him when I was young. But I'm hoping when it comes to fighting out, Denzel does the business and brings the title home.
Oh, wicked, mate. Before I leave you, eat your paella in peace, mate. Just looking at the British middleweight scene, there's so many great domestic fighters. Have you got a particular favourite at the moment?
Particular favourite at the moment.
Liam Williams is sort of on. Liam Williams is looking for a world title. He's doing pretty well.
You know what? Liam Williams is very underrated. I think Liam Williams is unbelievable, and people don't give him as much credit as he deserves. It's not his fault that opponents are dodging him and not taking the fights. I think Liam Williams is going to cause major upsets, not just in British boxing, in world boxing. I think it's an unbelievable fighter. And to answer your question, Liam Williams is probably my favourite fighter in the middleweight division at this moment in time.
Oh, wicked, mate. Well, I'm going to say, James, thanks so much for your time. I'll leave you go off in peace now. Give a big shout out to Johnny and the boys, to me and Mark, and I'll speak to you soon when you're back, mate.
All right, thank you very much. Will do.
Take care,
See you later, mate.